Well, it's finally happening tonight, the Ashes series with England favourites, but Australia certainly quietly confident of a good result. A lot of intrigue in particular about the Australian side and just who might be left out. Earlier I spoke to our own Fox Sports news presenter, Kath Loughnan.
It's a little bit hard to believe, Tom, but it seems that is going to be exactly the case. Cricket 360 co-host Robert Crash Craddock believes Mitchell Starc is a little bit out of favour with selectors, and they're opting for either Peter Siddle or Josh Hazlewood to accompany James Pattinson and Pat Cummins, of course, for the first Ashes test. There's a lot of reports saying that selectors want to see Peter Siddle play in either one or both of the first two tests. So it seems like Peter Siddle is certainly in favour with selectors. He's been earmarking this Ashes series, preparing for it for a long time. So it seems like he'll get his chance, but no Mitchell Starc, which to all the cricket fans out there, it's going to be hard to believe when Tim Payne names his 11 at the toss tonight for the first Ashes test. But that is the case. James Pattinson, Pat Cummins definitely going to play the first test. We'll just have to see Hazlewood or Siddle for the remaining bowlers' bowling position. The other one is Cameron Bancroft. It seems as though he will open the batting with David Warner, which probably would have been a little bit of a shock a couple of weeks ago until he made that unbeaten 93 in the intra-squad match a little while ago, a few days ago, which was really impressive in English conditions. So it seems he will return to the Test arena and open the batting alongside David Warner. You can only imagine the reception they'll receive walking out to open the batting together.
Yeah, I want to get to that in a moment. I mean, I think these selections, though, will really have people, particularly the ones that might have been watching winter sports more closely and now suddenly look at the Ashes, that there'd be no Hazlewood or Starc, two such frontline bowlers, would be a shock. And on the batting side, as you mentioned there, when you mention the conditions, that's always crucial, isn't it? That even though it's a one-off 93 from Cameron Bancroft, there's such different conditions. We've had batsmen seemingly go well in Australia and fail so badly in England. That's clearly going to be a huge part of the selectors' mindset in the whole series.
Yep, and that is why a lot of our Australian players go overseas and play county cricket to prove to selectors, look at my numbers over in English conditions, I can do it. And it's so vital in their preparation for an Ashes series on English soil to get that experience, to post good numbers and prove that they can perform on this kind of stage. It is so different in Australia, and that's why a lot of people perhaps will think Marcus Harris will be hard done by, given he really impressed over the Australian summer, but that was Australian conditions, and it's a whole different game over in the UK. So, yes, perhaps Marcus Harris will be a little bit hard done by, but he too had his chance to impress in those intra-squad matches. He didn't do too badly, but I think Cameron Bancroft just really pressed his case and really made a case that selectors can't ignore an unbeaten 93. It was an amazing knock. So, unfortunately for Marcus Harris, he won't probably be selected for the first Ashes test. Also, the return of Matthew Wade. This is so intriguing as well. Who would have thought Matthew Wade and Tim Payne would be in the same test team? It's quite extraordinary, and it's going to be really interesting to see how that unfolds, this Ashes series, rather, because if Tim Payne struggles to make runs, then what happens?
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, he hasn't, he's been keeping well, but has struggled a bit for test runs. And you've got Alex Carey as well, not in the squad, but sort of breathing down his neck. So, yeah, that's an embarrassment of riches for Australia there. You mentioned the reception for the players. It really struck me just how long and vehement the boos were during the World Cup. I guess we expect that to happen at the start of this test series, particularly at Edgbaston, but are they going to boo them for 5 test matches, all 3 of these players?
Oh, I think the Barmy Army are well and truly prepared, and they will go and continue. They do not stop. They never get tired. I think they're going to milk this for all it's worth, this Ashes series. A lot of people have been saying to me, oh, yeah, but they've been there for the World Cup. Haven't they got it all out of their system by now? No, it's a different story when it's an Ashes series. The rivalry Australia v England is just something else, and I think the Barmy Army are just going to go absolutely to town on these three-band trio, but they know what's coming. And David Warner and Steve Smith have already proven that they can handle it. I think Warner actually quite enjoys it at times. Cameron Bancroft's probably going to find it a little bit uncomfortable at first. All three will find it uncomfortable, but Cameron Bancroft, really, we haven't seen much of him since he's returned from his 9-month ban.
Do you reckon on that, Kath, that if they make a 50 or 100, they'll get cheered on the other side of that?
Oh, no, I think it's going to be boos a little bit and perhaps
really?
cheers.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to get an absolute cheer from an English crowd. I don't think so, perhaps, but it'll be interesting. I don't know. And that's, I think, the most exciting part of this series is we don't know really what's going to happen. But
yeah.
I did laugh when I heard Alan Border speak the other day about how he went to a lunch and they had sandpaper as the placemats. So, you know, that's the lengths they go to. They can't get enough. They love it. So it's going to be quite funny, a little bit embarrassing for us Aussies at time, but I think we can all cop it and laugh it off.
Yeah, we'll have to have mints at the next one when the English come out for an Ashes, because we know they like to use those sweets to get a bit of reverse swing as well. But look, I don't want to stoke the fires. Kath, enjoy the next few weeks as well as you and your sport colleagues struggle to get any sleep.
It's going to be tough, but I'll enjoy it. Cheers, Tom.
There you go. Look forward to it. Should be a cracking Ashes series.